Emma's fork hovers in the air when Marcus's phone chirps mid-dinner. Olivia, bored, kicks it with her heel. The screen tumbles, preview flashing before Marcus snatches it. Nora, tonight, we talk. I can't stay in the dark. Marcus's eyes dart to Emma, thumb frozen on the glass. Her knuckles whiten around the napkin, her breath tight. Olivia drops her gaze to the mashed potatoes, ears suddenly sharp. The room, once routine, freezes like someone hit pause. Only now the pause vibrates with a message no one can explain. Marcus slides his chair back with a soft scrape, then stands and lifts the dish pile with the practiced ease of a man who's been balancing dinner plates and spreadsheets for years. "I'll grab the casserole," he says, voice steady, and the clink of ceramic joins the hum of the refrigerator. Emma's fingers trace the rim of her water glass, thumb pressing the cold, wet condensation against the table. Olivia, still in her cyclist shorts and a shirt emblazoned with a science fair badge, tugs a notebook toward her. "Mom, did you sign the permission slip?" she asks, eyes on the glinting pen already in place. Emma slides a square of paper across the table, so deliberate but slow, the edge of her gaze flicking toward Marcus's phone now face down beside a salt shaker. Marcus carries the casserole to the counter, sets it down, then opens the cabinet for coffee mugs. Olivia rustles through papers, humming a song from the choir concert she's practicing for. Emma stays seated a heartbeat longer, fingers wrapped around the napkin that still smells faintly of rosemary. "I'll rinse," she murmurs, lifting the bowl to the sink, her shoulders easing into the rhythm of dishwater and steam, even as the pause from the earlier buzz hangs between them. Emma slid the plastic container into Emma's lunchbox with deliberate care, smoothing the lid before tucking a paper napkin over it. She lingered, fingers pausing on the closure as she checked the clock, the hum fading into the tightness in her shoulders. Emma sees the lunchbox still open on the counter, its lid resting askew instead of snapped shut like every other morning. A quiet gap in the usual flow. "Mom, can you look at this algebra before I have to catch the bus? You always do it while we pack lunch." "Of course, babe. We'll go over it like every morning." Marcus Hart yanks the front door open, coat collar high, the strap of the laptop bag digging into his palm as he strides inside with the quiet urgency of someone overdue. He swings the bag from one shoulder to the counter, palms pressing hard beside Emma's lunchbox as his shoulders hunch forward, breath quickening. Emma Hart's hand freezes midair, fingers trembling as the lunchbox lid hovers above the counter. Her shoulders stiffen, breath shallow as the rhythm of the morning wavers. "Why have you been so distant this past month? I felt you pull away even before I cut the trip short." "It's just been a lot with homework and dinners, I swear." Olivia Hart stepped closer, math workbook hugged tight to her chest, knuckles whitening against the cover as her gaze hopped between Emma Hart and Marcus Hart. "Dad, are you okay? You both sound weird today." "We're fine, Liv. Just a lot going on with school and work." Emma Hart's shoulders stiffen, fingertips splayed against her temple as if bracing herself, jaw tightening into a brittle line. Emma Hart's fingers curl tighter around the sandwich, shoulders rising as she presses the packet against her palm, gaze locked on Marcus without moving. A quiet tremor runs through her arms, the lunch slipping slightly in her grip before she forces herself to hold still. Marcus Hart sets Marcus's laptop bag on the island with a flat palm, the briefcase's strap thudding sharply as he keeps his fingers splayed to steady it. He leans in toward Emma Hart, shoulders squared and eyes fixed on her, his hands bracing the marble so his weight carries the intensity of the question. "I'm not asking for more excuses. I've watched that distance grow for a month. Why won't you let me in? I don't know how to explain it. I just wanted things to stay normal." Emma Hart straightens the family photo frame on the mantel, fingertips brushing the glass as the frame wobbles before she clamps it down, hand lingering over the edge as if holding the whole scene in place. Marcus's journal lies open on the coffee table. The latest entry, a careful list of questions about why Emma has been so eager to keep Olivia's backpack untouched. The inked words circling summer grin like a warning. Let's just have a normal night. A game will take the edge off. I wish it were that simple. Olivia's been pulling away, and I can feel the tension even when you force a smile. Emma Hart's fingers curl into the edge of the coffee table as her shoulders tense. The practiced smile gone, replaced by a brittle composure that wavers with each breath. Family photo frame on the mantel catches Emma's practiced smile with her hand gently resting on my shoulder, the glaze picking up the deepening hollows under her eyes. Proof she's been rehearsing calm. I started writing it all down. Each odd moment, Olivia watching us from the stairs. Because I can't pretend nothing is happening. Those are just stress notes. There isn't anything to read into. Emma's shoulders spike upward, journal clutched to her chest as her fingers tremble against her temples, and her gaze skitters toward the stairwell shadow where Olivia's distance widens. Marcus' heart turns toward the stairwell, nodding toward Olivia's half-packed backpack with a slow, tight motion, while his other hand drags the edge of Marcus's journal across the coffee table, the spine catching before he lets it settle face down, shoulders slumping as the nod falters. She has stopped coming to game night, asking me why we're always snapping at each other. She even told me she hears you holding your breath. Olivia's observant, but she's just misunderstanding grown-up fatigue. Emma Hart's grip on the couch digs into the fabric, shoulders hunching as her jaw tightens and she forces herself to exhale slowly. Emma Hart steps toward Marcus, fingertips skimming the edge of Marcus's journal as Olivia's half-packed backpack tilts with her movement, the family photo frame trembling beside her knee. Silence thickens as Emma Hart waits, the clock in the kitchen scraping seconds into her awareness. I just need more time to figure it out, Marcus. Time is exactly what Olivia has been asking for. The promise of you not shutting her out again. Through my eyes, Marcus's journal page glares back with the same dates circled again. Weekend after weekend marked quiet retreats. And the bold confession, Emma's eyes avoiding mine, stabbed through the middle. You keep backing away. Is there something you're not saying? I'm exhausted, Marcus. But there is nothing beyond that. Emma Hart's fists clamp the edge of the counter, shoulders rising as breath shudders and her eyes flick toward the floor before snapping back up. Emma's phone vibrated in her hand. She lifted it, the screen pitching Nora Blake's name into sharp focus. Her thumb slid the message open, shoulders dropping as the words glowed. Then she pressed the phone flat against her palm and stepped back, gaze cutting to Marcus with a steady, stripped-down stare. Emma Hart. Nora texted that she left town. She said she couldn't stand being part of this pain anymore. Marcus Hart. If she really is gone, then the only person keeping secrets now is you, and that's what's tearing me apart. Marcus slams both palms on the counter, knuckles white, the sudden hollowness in his shoulders, making the room seem smaller. His gaze shoots toward the doorway, eyes sharp and raw, the previous restraint cracking as if secrecy has just been stripped away. Marcus slams the journal face down, scoops it under his arm, and steps closer, the coffee mug rattling once against the counter. Nora's gone. Silence is all I have left, and Olivia feels it. So I won't let you keep pretending. I don't know how to stop pretending without making everything worse. Emma Hart's shoulders sag, then stiffen as she grips the edge of the counter, knuckles blanching while her gaze darts toward the hallway. Emma Hart steadies her hand on the coffee mug, easing it away, then pushes her chair back until the tile barely hears it whisper and rises, shoulders locking as the motion steals her. With Nora gone, there's nothing left to hide, Marcus. And every breath I don't take just lets this rot grow. Then stop holding it in, Emma, so we can decide how to fix it instead of letting fear write the rest of the story. Marcus Hart's hand tightens around the edge of the counter, knuckles whitening as his gaze locks onto the empty doorway. The weight of the truth pulling his shoulders down. Marcus's journal gapes open on the counter, the latest entry underlined in red describing the silence that grows between us, with Emma's wedding ring lying beside it like a punctuation mark to that confession. Emma's thumb crawled over Marcus's journal as she twisted her wedding ring, the metal cool and constricting around trembling skin. She swept Olivia's unfinished homework off the counter, its pages fluttering like a warning. Silence is killing us, Emma. Either keep the lie and watch us decay, or tell me tonight so we can decide what happens next. I just need more time to find a way to say it without destroying everything. Olivia barreled into the kitchen, her unfinished homework clutched in one hand before she flung it across the tile. She stood with shoulders squared, signaling the papers splayed between Marcus Hart and Emma Hart, her glare slicing from one to the other. Emma pushes Olivia's unfinished homework toward the edge of the island, smoothing her back as she straightens her shoulders. The light catches Emma's wedding ring as she crosses the kitchen and plants herself between Marcus and Olivia, ready to face them. Marcus's shoulders stiffen, fingers curling as he forces himself to stay seated. The quiet drag of the homework sheet toward the edge mirrors how close everything is to slipping. Emma's gaze tracks the candlelight, flickering across the empty place setting. Nora's name card rests atop a folded napkin, untouched. Emma Hart pressed her palms flat on the table beside Nora's name card, candlelight trembling across her knuckles as she drew in a shaky breath. She held it long enough to feel the tremor in her shoulders settle, then exhaled onto the rim of the half-empty wine glass, letting the steadied hand hover over the empty place setting. Emma Hart. I can't keep pretending nothing happened. I'm choosing to tell you the truth right now, Marcus Hart. Then do it. Olivia deserves to hear the same words I'm asking for. Olivia Hart's shoulders jump as her eyes widen, lips parting ever so slightly while her fingers curl into the edge of the table. Emma Hart leans over the table, palms planted beside Nora's empty place setting, dragging the card closer as if pulling the truth toward her. The tremor in her hands widens as she presses the card flat, fingers curling around its edge. Nora's gone. I know I have been here in body only, and I will accept whatever boundaries you set to keep hurting us from growing. I need time and space, but I will listen to your accountability if you keep being honest from here on out. Olivia Hart's shoulders slump, stunned silence locking her lips as she stares past the guttering flame, eyes wide with the weight of the choice. Through Marcus's eyes, Nora's empty place setting with her name card gleams in the guttering candlelight, a silent witness to the choice Emma still must make. She drags the heel of her hand along the table edge, brushing Nora's empty place setting and the rim of Marcus's closed journal, forcing herself to stay seated as the half-empty wine glass shivers with each gulp of air. It started last winter with work dinners that became Nora nights. I lied about where I was, and the guilt of lying to you and Olivia has been crushing me. So I'm laying out the timeline, even if it shatters this dinner. That confession hurts. But if this brutal honesty is the beginning, then we can start the fragile, broken conversation about whether trust can be rebuilt. Even though I can't promise forgiveness yet. Olivia Hart's hands curl into trembling fists in her lap, shoulders collapsing as tear tracks glitter in the candlelight, the silence pressing harder with each shallow breath. Through Emma's eyes, the empty place setting with Nora's name card glares across the table, the candlelight catching the crisp whiteness and proving her choice to let Nora stay away, leaving the seat and the possibility of reconciliation vacantly dark. The morning light threads through the open door and pools on the hallway mat where the family photo used to wobble. Mara lifts the frame. Marcus, her daughter, the three of them smiling into a future she can't pretend about. And instead of returning it to the mantel, she sets it face down on the counter. In the kitchen, Marcus fills 3 mugs. The steam curls between them like a new kind of quiet. Their daughter, legs swinging from the stool, takes hers without looking up. Mara takes Marcus's hand, lets it rest between them, then slides it onto the counter. Marcus nods once, the crease between his brows eased, and says, "We keep going." Not waiting for permission, Mara makes no answer. She simply reaches for the napkin stack, spreads it out, and leaves the extra place setting bare.